Alright guys, your next comic, I've had the pleasure of performing with him numerous amounts of times. Make some noise for Sam Cohen!
Thank you. So check it out, in high school, I was in special ed, and you know, a lot of kids can be dicks about it. Like, sometimes the jocks would say to me, like, "Oh, hey, dumbass, bet you're not going to try out for the football team." I'm like, no, you're right. I mean, what would be the point? I mean, I already hooked up with half the cheerleaders. Shazam! They were like, "What? How did you do that? You're not even on the team." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I'm in special ed, so I get that pity sex." Ching! I'll tell you, like, dating was tough in high school. Like, I had one date, the girl shows up, takes one look at me, bolts out the door. You know, because I was wearing my Halloween costume. You know, it was a tutu and a Viking helmet. Okay, so it turns out Halloween is not in September, you know? Yeah, shit. No pity sex tonight, huh? Well, you know, coolest thing about being in special ed, though, they give you extra time to do things. So one day I was in the bathroom for a while, and the teacher's like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing? It's time for class." I'm like, "Taking my extra time. I'm in special ed." Good shit. So, senior year, wanted to go to the prom, but the rule was you had to have a date, and I didn't have one, so I just showed up with a blow-up doll. I would have gotten her a corsage, but, you know, I didn't want to pop her. So I'm carrying her. The chaperone's like, "Hey, where's your date?" I'm like, "Hey, she's right here." You never said the date had to have a pulse. So, you know, my friends are making cracks like, "Oh, what did you win her at a carnival or something?" I'm like, "Hey, fuck you, this thing cost me $20. Then we get on the dance floor. Thank you. We get on the dance floor. She starts sort of like, you know, flopping around. Yeah. The teacher goes, "Is she drunk?" "Nah, she's not drunk. She just needs a little air." Yeah. Let me tell you, you know, my parents, they insisted that I go to college, and sending a special ed kid off to college, that's a risky experiment, you know? I mean, that's sort of like launching the first monkey into space, you know? You know, laughed a little there. So, some people think if you're in special ed that it kind of means you're, you know, dumb. But really it just means you learn differently. The kids at my college, they were actually dumb. You know, like, take my roommate. I'm not saying he couldn't read, but the guy used to listen to Curious George on audio tape. Yeah, and I took this philosophy class, and up on the wall there's that famous quote, "I think, therefore I am." Oh yeah, not at this school. If that were true, there'd be nobody in the room. Thank you, smart audience, all right? So, you know, not the brightest kids in my class. Like, highest grade in the class was a C-. Yeah, and that was the Asian kid. Unbelievable. You know, some schools will give awards. You know, some schools like Harvard's got like John F. Kennedy Award, like Princeton's got the F. Scott Fitzgerald Award. But I think I saw one of my classmates on America's Most Wanted. So, you know, they should give him the O.J. Simpson Award. Yeah. Thing was, in college, I had this date, and the girl asked what religion I am. So I said, "Jewish." She goes, "Really? I've never met a Jew before." "Yeah, well, guess we're not in Kansas anymore, yeah?" You know, and she says, "Just curious, do Jews, like, celebrate Christmas?" I'm like, "Well, no." She goes, "Do they celebrate Easter?" I'm like, "Well, if we don't celebrate the first coming of Christ, sure as hell I'm going to celebrate the second one." You know, then she says, "You know, it's funny, you don't, like, seem Jewish." "Really?" So I made her pick up the check. All right, great crowd, thank you.